Greetings and welcome to the first installment of the Aetolia tutorial videos. Today we're going to introduce you to the Nexus Client, character creation, and basics of the game. We're going to start this by creating the character who's going to be your guide through the video series. First off, you're going to want to head over to play.aetolia.com. I'll leave a link in the show notes below. Next, you're going to head over to the right hand side here and click to create a new character. First up, we're going to have our race selection. Now, because this is going to be a guide, we're going for a high intelligence, so I'm going to choose the Grook as being one of the most intelligent races in the game. For me, the guild that made the most sense was the Archivist. And finally, you're going to choose your character's city. In this case, I have the one, Spine's Reach, and that's the one I get to choose. If you'd like, I can go ahead and make a video on the races, guilds, and cities. Just leave a comment in the notes below. Finally, we're going to choose our character's information. For this, we're going to name him Odigos. He's going to be male. Age, you can select that, make it whatever you'd like. We're going to make him 22. Password, you'll enter your password in here, and you'll enter your email in here. Next, you're going to want to agree to the terms of service. You can select optional for reading the Aetolia newsletter and the Iron Realms newsletter. And finally, we can finish. Now we have access specifically to the Nexus Client, and you'll see here there are multiple tabs, windows, all of which can be programmed and used for various sources. We can continue. The main window is the focus of your gameplay. Everything in the game, from chatting to combat and role-playing, is here. To explore the world in Aetolia, type the direction you wish to travel. North, north, northwest, southwest, in, out, but most people are going to find it easier just to use your numpad, and 7 for northwest, 8 for north, 3 for southeast. You get the idea. The one tricky one may be the minus sign for up, plus sign for down. Aetolia is played by typing commands into the command line. It is that simple. Now we're going to be able to start the tutorial. They do give you the ability to speed up or slow down. If it's your first time, I recommend keeping it at the same pace. Your mind swims in nothingness. An empty blackness has crept into every recess of your skull. No touch, nor smell, no sight, nor sound is evident in the ubiquitous black. Only a peaceful calm envelops you like the warm caress of a breeze under the new moon. With a sudden jerk, you have the pleasant feeling of being instantly weightless. Light as a feather, you float through your dreamlike state, content and unaware of what the future holds. The future, however, has no concern for holding back its mysteries. With a very unpleasant thud, your head is filled with an overwhelming white light and a sense of excruciating pain. You open your eyes only to see a blur of darkness and light around you. Struggling to retain your focus, you hear the scuffs of metal across the stone and vague shape of a creature moving away from you. The smell of filth and death assaults your nose immediately, triggering a wave of nausea and throbbing pain throughout your skull. A raspy voice whispers in your ear, "Are you okay, my friend? That was quite a fall on your head. Do not try to speak yet. Nod if you are okay, or shake if you are still hurt." So now you see in the yellow text there, respond to the voice by typing in nod or shake to move your head. In this particular case, I'm going to say that we're okay, and I'm going to nod. You nod your head emphatically. "Ah, you're very strong. That is good," says the voice. Your eyes still struggle to focus on your companion who sits next to you. "Do not fuss if you're still hurt, my friend," says the voice. "The guards will come back, no doubt, but for now, rest easy." The second voice, more bold, cynical, speaks up from across the room. "You coddle too much, Gantia. Rub your eyes and look around you. Can you see what sort of place you are in? There is only despair here, and there is no cause to rest easy." You hear a derisive scoff. To continue your quest, you must type look or L. Simple enough. We look. Now you can see where you are. This will give you a description of the room you are in, the name of the room, and whether or not you can see any exits, and then you can also see who is in the room, NPCs, objects, etc. You can look up here on the top right hand side where it shows you that Gantia, a faded Kelki, and Svizile, a scarred imp, are both in the room with you. You'll want to pay close attention to what they're saying, because this is going to guide you through the very beginning steps of actually engaging with the game and understanding the basic concepts of how you connect with the game and the people playing within it. So now they're asking us to say our name. So we're going to simply say Odigos. Ganita explains their plan. They're nearly finished digging a tunnel through the prison, and they suppose it'll be quite large enough to fit all three. While the prisoners are being moved to the workyard, they're going to hide in the tunnel. With any luck, the guards will assume our cell is empty. Then when the time is right, we will finish our tunnel and escape into the woods surrounding the prison. From there, we can hope to catch a boat into the mainland. Until then, we must make sure you are prepared for any trouble. This file will teach you some basic survival skills to assist you and us. Now here they're going to teach you the basics of learning, and this is how you're going to learn all of your skills throughout the game. Is you're going to find a mentor, someone who can teach you. They're NPCs, or you can learn from a player character more experienced than you. In this particular case, we're going to learn from the NPC. Each of the teaching elements is going to have a specific set where it explains what they're teaching to you and essentially the ideas behind it. In the tutorial, this is shortened considerably. So the next thing you can look at is your abilities. So AB is what they're speaking to here. Right now, we really don't have much. Hunting, survival, geometrics, and numerology. Hunting and survival are basic general skills. These are available to everyone. Your guild skills, geometrics and numerology, we only get the first two. The third one is obtained after you achieve a specific rank within your guild. So now they want to look at our skills. So we can be survival. This shows you your skills, specifically all of the ones within your skill sets. So now we can look at AB, which is short for abilities, survival, which is the skill class that we're going into, and fisticuffs. This will show us how to use and what the specific effects of an ability are. In this particular case, we can now punch or kick. This file says, I think it's time. We've hidden the entrance to the tunnel. Sometimes you can't see the exits just by looking, but as your skill and vision increases, you'll be able to detect them more easily. Just stand and then walk down. So, because we're prone, we need to stand up. Stand up and stretch your arms wide. Now we can head down. You can see again that now we've entered a different room. So you can see that we're in a cramped tunnel with a tiny centipede and a single exit leading up. Gantia now says, sit down, let us talk while we're waiting for the guards to finish moving the prisoners. Often if you wish to speak to everyone nearby, the say command will suit your needs sufficiently well. Sometimes though, there is a need for more privacy. You can even talk to a person directly that is far away. So now they're telling us how to communicate to people that are not in the same room. Say just specifically talks to people in the room that you're in. Tell will contact anybody that is on the same continent as you. So here we tell Ganita, I understand. Gantia, not Ganita. Describing that from above you hear the sound of guards forcibly opening the door to the cell. Rough voice yells out, the other guys already got to the cell, stop wasting my time, fool. Heavy footsteps trail off and you hear the door slam shut. Gantia looks around nervously. Once we get outside, you'll need this. Now we've received a backpack. So this is the introduction to your inventory. So we can do info, INV, for inventory. And that tells us specifically what we have in our inventory. This is a more complicated version than your standard inventory, which will tell you what you're wielding, holding, and wearing. Right now, we see that we have a pack. So let's look in pack, as they are telling us to do in the tutorial. We have a robe and 100 gold. So we're going to go ahead and get robe from pack. And now we can wear robe. And this is how you'll interact with other clothing. This file now says, at least if we get caught, you won't embarrass us. It's time to put some of that fisticuffs training to use. Do you see that centipede over there? Either punch it or kick it and make sure it's dead. You can select a target by using the tab key. You'll notice a target icon will appear as you cycle through your possible targets. Target the centipede and then press the attack button below your health bar. So if we watch up here on the top right, if we hit the tab button, now the tiny centipede has a new icon that shows that it's targeted, and the text also shows up in yellow. Now, we can use the attack button right here below the bar to do that, or you can also do punch centipede. But as the tutorial says, we'll go ahead and use that. You leap into the air and launch a flying kick at the centipede. You connect. Experience gained, which means we killed it. 293 experience. Having slain a tiny centipede, you retrieve the corpse. So you'll automatically retrieve the corpses. You'll notice that every time you attack, you either lose balance or mental equilibrium. This is important. For most things, you'll have to wait until you regain that balance back before you can attack again. So this means you can't spam the attacks. Now, they do have a visual icon here that shows whether or not you have physical balance and mental balance, which is called equilibrium in this game. Now it is time. Let us make haste. Your two companions pick up some crude tools that have been left behind and begin to dig up to the far roof of the tunnel where a number of roots can be seen growing through the hard soil. Almost immediately, you smell fresh air waft through a newly formed hole in the side of the tunnel. Within a minute, your new heroes have made it big enough to fit through. Svile immediately drops his tools and climbs through the hole. Go on ahead, I'll be just a second behind you. So now, we can head to the out exit. You can see here, again, the room name, the brief description, and also any exits. Right now, it shows a single exit leading to the north. Go north quickly and assist him. We go north, we target the guard, and we attack. So my assumption was incorrect. We have to wait until it's actually asking for us to attack here. We launch a flying kick at the prison guard. You connect. Here, we see that you have recovered balance on all limbs. This is the text version of this, showing you that you have balance again. We're going to attack again, wait for our balance to come back, attack again, and we have gained experience and slain the prison guard. Gantia runs into the room just as the last breath of life escapes the guard. Where is Svile? We must find him. Explore the ward to the north until you come across him. So, now we must find Svile and make sure he's escaped the guard. Start by heading north and then continue to look around. We're going to head north. Now, if we take a look here, we can see what rooms are close by, specifically by looking at this mini-map. And the one in the center with your flag here is the one where you are. So now we can see that there are exits to the northeast, east, south, and west. So we'll head to the east. Didn't see him. So we're going to head to the west. Every time you move, you'll see that you see the room description, the room name, and the available exits. So nothing here. We head back. And finally, we find the correct room. As you enter the room, you see Svile bring down a large plank of wood straight into the head of a prone guard, splitting his skull and splattering blood all across the walls. He looks up at you with a demented smile. Gantia catches up with you and enters the small shack. It's about time help arrived. He wipes the blood off his face and looks firmly at the two of you. We must get out of here. File Svile and we'll head down to the port. In order to follow another player, you're going to want to use this here. Now, these have made it so that you can simply click on these, but you're going to want to practice getting into the habit of typing into the bar because those are not always going to be available. We must rest a little. You are still hurt from the fight. Now they're going to show you a brief bit of healing. Sitting down against a tree, Svile closes his eyes and tries to settle down to sleep. Sleeping is one of the most basic forms of recovering your health. Later on, you're going to learn about specific curatives which are going to help cure you faster. As soon as you complete your sleeping, you open your eyes and stretch languidly, feeling deliciously well rested. Strange shapes and hints of memories not yet remembered float around your mind, giving you the inexplicable feeling that the days of your youth are past you. Your childhood will only live in your memories. Looking around, you notice it was Svile who woke you. I knew this was a bad idea. I can hear the dogs behind us. Let us continue our flight to the shore. You look around you and see Gantia rubbing her eyes and stubbornly getting on her feet. Rising to your feet, you feel surprisingly rested and thank the gods for rejuvenation. Your companions set forth almost immediately, and you run after them. So now it forces us to run to the next area, and we can see that, again, we have the edges of a village near the trees. That's the room name. The description is in blue and in purple as our available exits. In this case, we can see the exit west. Gantia, keep your eyes to the ground. We have two tasks here. We first need to find a shop that has supplies for our trip, and second, we need to find a way to earn a little gold for the trip by boat to the mainland. Let's search around and hopefully we'll find something. So, there's a hint. Don't forget you can use your map. That's what we discussed over here to help find your way around the village. And the tutorial is telling you that you need to explore the village and find a way to gain some money and supplies to prepare for an escape from the island. So first we're going to head over to the west, and again we can see here room name, description, and exits. First, I think we're going to head over here because I see this as an inn, and that generally, in most role-playing games anyway, is where you're going to find your quests. So here it's telling us that we need to greet barmaid. In many instances in this game, greeting a particular NPC is how you're going to find your quests. Well, I see we have a new tourist in town. Let me guess, your boat fell astray into the nearby shallows. Or is it a mighty dragon that dropped you on our fair island? I don't care what your story is anyways. I can see in the look of need on your face, and I know what you are here for. If you want away off the island, you'll need to do some unpleasant work for me. If you don't want to do such work, I'm sure you can find employment with a few guards who are looking for a particular person. There's a ship in town, Ashton's Bounty. Its captain is a bit too prosperous for my liking. I overheard the sailors talking about a crate of supplies that is to be delivered to some slavers in Billamo Fields. Having that crate go missing should get the captain in all sorts of trouble. Go and steal that crate and bring it back to me while the sailors are sleeping. You can find the ship down at the docks to the northeast as you arrive at them. Svile. Aha! There's trouble to be caused. Let us go and do this deed so we may be off this cursed rock. Find your way to the town's dock, steal some supplies from the ships called Ashton's Bounty for the barmaid. And we see now that we have leveled up to the illustrious level of Bold. You've gained 49 health, 49 mana, and 5 lessons. Each level you'll gain health, mana, and lessons are extremely valuable as you progress because that's how you are able to level up your skills. So next we will head on to the northeast, and we want to look for the docks. And it appears that we've found them. They're the crates. Quickly probe each one to find the one that's addressed to the slavers in Villamo. This is where we need to get a little bit more specific with our commands. So they're telling you info here or IH. This gives you a very specific sequence. So what you can see here is that we have 2 crates. Now, if you were to just probe crate, it's going to select the first one. So if you want to be able to look at the second one, you need to probe crate and this particular item number afterwards. So I will show you the difference here. Probe crate. That's not it. Check the other crate. Try a probe crate 89850. So it's telling us to specifically check that crate. Now, when we look at that, we can see that the markings on it indicate that it is to be delivered to the Villamo fields. So now we know that we were supposed to take that crate and steal it. So let's get crate, and we know that we need to use the number because we can't pick up the first one because that's not the one we're looking for. Kind of urges you to return to the bar. And we've leveled up to the illustrious level of Bright. Now we can head back to the inn. Barmaid grins at you with an evil look. Now it's telling us to drop the crate. We drop a supply crate. Very well, our bargain is complete. She throws you a large bag of gold. You have gained 5,554 gold. Be gone from this place before I decide to call the guards anyway and take my gold back. She turns away from you, ignoring you completely. Now, we want to make sure the gold is safe, so we're going to put the gold in pack. Once again, leveled up to the level of trustworthy. You've gained 49 health, 49 mana, and 5 lessons. Heard there is a shop nearby. Let us go and finish our business here. So we're going to head to the out, northeast, northwest, and in. Now we see the general store is the room that we're in. We see the description telling us that there is a sign here instructing you that wares is the command to see what's for sale, and you'll see this in any store. And again, the purple is the exits. So now we can go and check the wares by typing wares. This gives us a list of specifically what we have for sale. So in this case, now we need to get gold from pack because you need the gold in your inventory in order to purchase something. And next, we need to buy health. This is going to purchase a vial of health. Great. So now if we sip health, that's going to heal us. In this particular case, we were already full health, but in any case, that's how you would heal during combat. Now we need to buy mana, and this is going to restore your mana. The health is this bar here, your mana, this bar here. Later on, you're going to see uses for both endurance and willpower. Sip the mana, and that should be able to get us onto the next part of the tutorial. You should be careful when relying on elixirs. There is a short cooldown after drinking one before your body can absorb the effects of another. We need to get going. Make sure you put gold in pack. You never know what sort of shady people are hanging around these parts. We put gold in pack. In general, the shop to the mainland will offer many useful items you will need. It is important that you seek them out when we arrive. Gained another level, Aetolian. Make haste and travel to the docks. Let us greet the fisherwoman and bargain with her for passage. She will be able to guide us. Are you here about this old boat that I'm selling? For just 50 gold, it is yours. Since my mother was lost to the seas, I have no heart for this. It's a deal. Get your gold from your pack and give 50 gold to the fisherwoman. Now, for those of you more aggressive sort, I do believe that you can actually attack her, kill her, and take the boat for free. But since I'm not really creating a vicious character in this particular case, we're going to go ahead and pay her for it. And there you see, we don't have that much gold because we didn't take it out of the pack. So now that we've taken it from the pack, now we can actually use it. The deal is made, the three of you quickly jump on board and begin to row the vessel out into the harbor beyond. Gantia sighs a breath of relief as he gazes back at Slaver's Isle as it slowly recedes into the distance. Seems we got out of there in one piece, friend. Sphile snorts as he settles in, but provides no further insight into his thoughts. There is a lot more to Aetolia than what has been revealed so far on your journey. At first, you will likely find the world overwhelming, with thousands of locations to explore and intricate game mechanics to understand. The help system will aid you greatly in further understanding the realm. If you wish to learn more about a specific part of the world, you can run a search by using help search command. For example, help search says would tell you more about the speech system. So we can do that. This help system is also available on their website, so it may be a little bit easier for you to navigate that way. But for example, if we were to do help says, it's going to open up this window here where we can read. The most common ways to speak to one of the players to use the say command. The syntax for this command is say text. So this is going to tell you any syntax that you need to use and the corresponding result. Perhaps you'll be the next great explorer, lead one of the vast cities of the land, or even hold the title of champion fighter. The choice is yours to decide. In games like this, it truly means it is yours to decide. Gantia, a faded Kelki, says, "There it is. Joy fills you, for your escape is finally complete. However, the experience has forever shaped you. No longer are you the youth that once was carefree and naive to the world. Your boat slams into the rocky shoreline of the mainland. Quickly your companions gauge their bearings and, giving you a final nod, begin to walk off their separate paths. Gantia, a faded Kelki, says, "Perhaps we will see each other once again. Perhaps not." Now you see that you were dropped at the Portals of the Vagabonds. This is a room that you're going to get very, very familiar with as you begin the game. And you can see here that the Novice channel, which is a communication channel, they're already welcoming people here. Ashayeth, librarian of the Spyrian Archive, says, "Welcome home, Otigos. Please take a look at Sea Help. Welcome at your earliest convenience. You can use CNT to speak on this Aether with any questions you have." And the Novice channel. Channels are something you're going to want to be familiar with right out the gate. Now, in order to speak on this channel is specifically newbie, greetings and thank you. Now, if you look on the right hand side here, these are the things you are going to want to get started with. So we have registration. Okay, these are your quests, and if you follow these, you're going to get a good idea of what you need to do in order to play the game and learn how everything works. One of the other groups you're going to want to reach out to is your guild, and you can find out who's in your guild by specifically touching GWHO, G who, for guild who. See who will show you all of the people who are in your city and currently active. One of the things you'll notice here are your milestones. So these are new daily missions, weekly missions, monthly missions, and another monthly mission. Again, you can use help milestones to learn about these and how they affect your game. That's all for this video. If you guys feel that this helped you, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content to come. See you next time.